Man. um, Hi guys. Um, Today's been freaking. I don't know how to put it. I'm like half asleep still. I haven't been able to like properly sleep because like usually I always stay up a little bit later than I would have liked to, and then you know, and I get a lot of morning shifts, and they really, really freaking suck for me. And I'm not exactly the kindest person. I'm not exactly the perfect guy, right? I don't smile. I don't really do like all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. How do I begin this story? So, as I don't know if anyone knows me. No one should know me, but I'm the type of person who just doesn't really smile in real life. I just kind of have a dead expression on my face. Like I literally look as empty as I am inside. Of course, if you do talk with me, and people like to like find reactions from me, not always necessarily negative, but um, people like talking to me and like seeing the reactions of some of the stuff that they like to say, and I'm a patient listener. I don't really have much to say often, but I do listen, I do pay attention, and all that kind of stuff, right? And I don't know. Like I'm just that kind of quiet person. Like I have the resting bitch face, but people know me for a person who will listen. If you're friendly, then I am friendly, and if you don't like act really really stupid and annoying and whatnot, then I also I'll respect you. All right, I respect it when people do their best and try and like do all that type of stuff. I respect that. And I have bitched about plenty of people for being idiots, plenty of customers who just freaking really dig their nose into your life for no good freaking reason. And some people may think it's normal, some people who blah blah blah, but I mean, I just think it's freaking weird and invasive as hell that like you gotta like prod very deeply into me. Um, so I guess that's who I am. Who's this Karen? I have no fucking idea. She's blonde, by the way, and also fairly wrinkly, and she does not look like an hourglass. Is all I can fucking say. The exact opposite of an hourglass, like an inverted hourglass, if I had to like even describe it. So today I just do my usual cashier job. I stay up front because like it's the slow season. Most people don't really buy stuff. It's fairly peaceful, and so because of that, they lower all the manpower, and it's just me and a manager who one of the managers anyway, because there always has to be a manager in order to keep the store safe and whatnot, someone who knows absolutely everything. And like then this lady came along with her cart full of stuff. That's a lot, and I just go through the usual motions. Will this be all? All right. Would you like, or since there was a lot of items, I didn't even ask if she needed a bag. I asked her if she was like a member of our thingamabob, because I'm pretty sure all stores have like a membership or something to like save on money and get deals and stuff, right? So that's what I did. The usual like, are you? Hey, is this all? Are you a member? Cool. Let me just get through all the items, and like usual, customers like to make small talk and stuff and do all that kind of stuff. I personally don't really care if they do make small talk. It's like you can say whatever, but I probably won't be interested. And if you just like say shit, I'll listen, but I'm not gonna guarantee I'm gonna be interested. which is about like for most conversations, that's like the risk involved. But if you want to talk, of course I'll listen and stuff. So long as you don't hold up the line and like do dumb, like clearly out of common sense type stuff. And like, but the thing is that she didn't even. I don't think she opened up with a conversation starter. She's just like, her conversation starter opening was, "Is everyone in a bad mood?" And in my head, I'm just like, oh, I guess she just met a bunch of people who are just kind of down in the pits and whatnot, or something like that. Maybe they're all tired. Maybe blah blah blah. Like me, I'm just here doing my job, and just like, and also like, I get the feeling that she's also like subtly hinting towards my attitude as well. So I'm just like, and like the day itself went smoothly. Like I'm tired and stuff. I don't really have the brain power, but you know. So, um, so she asks me like, what? How come everybody is so grumpy today? And it's like, was there anyone who was grumpy today? I don't think there was. So, I think it's probably just you. In hindsight, it probably sounded a bit more ruder than it probably should have, but I mean, it's. I'm just like, today's been a fine day. I think it's just you. I think it might be just you. You don't need to worry about anything. I think today's been a smooth day. I haven't seen many angry customers. I haven't seen anything crazy. I've just been doing my job and whatever. And that was an invitation to hell that I just let loose from my mouth. Then again, if I had stayed silent, I'd imagine that she'd scream even more. But, and so, like, all of a sudden she's just like, well, you're not being very respectful or kind. And I'm just like, what? Like, she's just going off at this point. Like, as soon as I responded, she's just like, very, very intrusive. Well, you don't seem like but you seem sad. Why are you sad? Can you smile a bit more? Can you be like a bit more respectful? Can you be a bit more kind? Blah 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 blah. Like, me not smiling has a huge impact on her life. And I don't know, like, so I'm just scanning out her items and she's just like digging into me for no good reason, and I'm just like, yeah, she's being a bit too much. She's being creepy. She's being whatever, right? And like, I even have to say, like, I don't really need to answer that question. You're starting to like, and you're literally like making me feel uncomfortable right now. I literally said that. Like, I literally explicitly stated, like, you are making me uncomfortable. Please stop. Because like I can't exactly cuss out the customers and whatnot, but because like she's being very, very, like, I start off the day barely any sleep. That's the only thing that's really ticks me off. Like, the rest of the day fairly smooth. There's been some work here and there. I help customers here and there, and I don't smile too much, but I'm, other than the fact that I'm tired, I really don't carry any hard feelings for others. Like, I just literally wear a bitch face. That's all there is to it. And she she just keeps going. Like, she asks me like, well then, how's your day? I'm just like, I'm already creeped out by her like excessiveness, that like I don't even know how to even respond to that question. I already know that this entire interaction is similar to a political one. Like, or if not entirely political, like, if you answer the wrong way, then you lose ground in some capacity. And like, this lady, this fucking demon straight from hell, is like, I see where her game is. I sense it. I have a spider sense for that type of stuff. I can't word it. I can't prove it, but it literally is happening. And I don't like, people will say give the benefit of the doubt, blah blah blah, but like, my spider sense is always on fucking point. Just saying. Or bullshit sense. Abusive sense? Something like that. I have like a sixth sense from it, thanks to all the shit I've been through in my goddamn life. And like, I'm not even looking her in the eye. I'm just like checking out items. I'm just focused on doing that. And then it's like, and once I check out all her items, I'm rehearsing the prices. She's still like after me. And like, okay. And the manager literally had to like call over and like ask like if everything's all right. I'm just like, yeah, no, she's just like looking to see if all her coupons have applied and stuff. And you know, I let her even touch my screen and whatnot. You know, like she wanted to see if all her deals apply. I'm just like, okay, go ahead. Yeah, you can touch it. You can see everything. Go right ahead. And for some reason, I don't know, like, yeah, okay, so this person is a couponer or some shit like that. But it turns out it didn't end like that. Like, she checked her prices, she looked at the coupon, she just stopped looking at it and like shoved at the screen, like tapped something harshly. I'm just like, okay. And you know, then she paid, and then she decided to like throw a complaint and whatnot. And I don't know. I'm just like empty. I'm like literally empty-headed right now. Like I didn't get any sleep. I don't care. And I like and like I don't know. I don't know how to describe this. Like once the transaction was over, like I still didn't care. Like I didn't feel anything, but she's like still after me. And I literally like have to tell her like, please stop making me uncomfortable for who I am. I literally had to like tell her like, I just have a resting bitch face. This is literally who I am. And she's just not stopping. I'm just like, ma'am, please stop making me uncomfortable for being who I am. And she doesn't stop, but like there was another customer over, and I'm just like, yeah, I can help you now. And like shoved her off, made her like an entirely different thing. And she immediately, in the front of the store, stomped her feet and was just like, I'm gonna fucking make a complaint right now. And goes straight to my manager and starts complaining. Not really you know, she's not the store manager. She's just like, you know, shift lead, that type of deal, you know. But she's the manager, you know, what people would normally refer to as the manager in the store at any given point. And like in the background, she's screaming. I have no idea what she's screaming about. I don't even care. I'm just focused on this old lady, checking her out. And like, then, you know, once the transaction was over, and I just decided to say like, thank you for being a wonderful customer to work with. Have a good day. And like, she overheard that and immediately got set the fuck off. Like, what? Her whole thing is like, you should be kinder, you should show more respect. And then as soon as I show it to like some elderly lady, she goes fucking berserk. And and then like, then it was like, she then decided to just go to this, just in the front of the store, a whole tirade. It's like, you retail worker, how dare you not say I'm a wonderful customer to work with? Like, I use that as like a way to like condition people to be good customers. It's not even like a personal thing. It's not like me being kind. It's literally like, if I have to be honest, the only reason why I say that is because it's psychological conditioning I'm trying to test out. Sometimes I forget to. Sometimes I don't do it intentionally simply because I think it will be excessive. And the other times I don't think something should be rewarded. I don't say much. I don't voice my like dissatisfaction at all. I don't let it show. My face, my resting bitch face is a nice little comfort because I don't have to, it's a perfect poker face. I don't have to like say anything at all. I just rest. I do nothing. And the customers can just check their stuff out and leave. But like, as soon as she heard that, As soon as she heard me say to the old lady, "Here, thank you for being a wonderful customer at work," she's just set off. Like, that's just proof that she doesn't even care about, like, me being kind or nice or anything. She cares about me giving her undevoted attention and love and affection. And personally, I think that should be reserved for the person who I want to give a ring to, but unfortunately for her, she neither has a looks or personality that I would be willing to even give her a shred of fucking wood. I mean, like in a branch thing, but I guess I completely I thought about it as I spoke. I realized that that is a pre-existing innuendo. Unfortunately, that's disgusting. Well, it's only disgusting because she's honestly ugly. Like, that's like the only thing. Let's be honest. Um, so like, now she's just shouting in the store. I was about to go and put something away, and she's just now, like, my manager is right next to me, like, just listening and stuff. I overheard from the distance as well. Like, she was just, like, nodding along, just going, all right, I'll make sure, I'll have a talk, and blah, blah, blah. Like, telling everything that she wants to hear, right? And she still hasn't had enough. And, and then she comes over and hears me say, thank you for being a wonderful customer to work with today. It was really, and and so she just starts going off in the middle of just in the front of the store. There's like two other customers in the back, and another, and another, and like, there was like another couple of customers who was overhearing. I didn't really realize it until after it. I don't pay attention to people. I literally do not. Like, that's not an active thing on my mind. I am incredibly, incredibly stupid when it comes to people. Like, you can literally, like, I literally do not care. I'm not aware of people. I do not care about people whatsoever. You could literally sneak up behind me and, like, literally stab me in the back, and I would not have noticed until you get literally physically uncomfortably close. Otherwise, I really don't care. And even if you stick behind me, I just think you are just being creepy at most. Uncomfortably. But. And, something in my mind just kind of freaking clicked. Like, she's just going off. She's just complaining. She's just doing whatever. And something in my head just kind of clicked, right? Something. I'm not sure what it was, but that click made me think to myself, she wants attention? All right, I'll give her some attention. I walk in front of the cameras, where the cameras are literally pointed at. I lean over my desk, and I look at her, and I talk with her. I say, all right, seems like you want to talk about this. And she screams, I am already talking about it. And I don't really respond. I just let her keep going on. She just complains about me, like, not being kind, not smiling, not, like, answering her questions, like, how's my day? Like, that like, me not answering how's my day feels very, very, like, it affects her very personally. And all right, and she also likes to throw comments like, "Well, you make me feel like you make me feel whatever. What was the freaking negative term? Like it was like a synonym of comfortable, like unwelcome or something, like unbelonging, a burden." And she is very much so right now, being a burden by literally screaming from the store and demanding emotional validation. And if this store makes me feel this way, then it makes me want to take my business elsewhere. I am literally the lowest worker on the rung. I do not give a shit. There are hundreds of different customers that come in and day out. I remember none of them. I literally remember. I only remember a few faces, of course, but like for the most part, I really don't remember anybody. Just see people just go by and do whatever. It is what it is, and she's just like being very, very, like as soon as any freaking person ever says, "Well, then you're making me feel like I gotta take my business elsewhere," and it's like, this is obviously an emotionally manipulative line. It just doesn't fucking work because I'm just a cashier. I don't get paid enough, and I wake up at horrible hours just to make a living. Like, what? Take your business? Okay. We don't have everything at the store. Just to let you know. There are like things at the store that I cannot buy here. That's why I use delivery services and other stuff. And that's why I go to other stores too. I couldn't buy a cake at my current work location. I could buy it at a different store. I took my business elsewhere because they didn't have it. Simple as. Like the moment they say like, I'm gonna take my business elsewhere, it's like obvious. It's like the most obvious, like, love me or I will hurt you type of like line, And unfortunately, she was both ugly and like physically and like personality wise that I really could not force it out of me. That at that point she would be raping me. And oh boy, YouTube probably. I like grapes. I like fruits, vegetables. I like apples, oranges, grapes, and limes, and all the sweet, sour, juicy fruits. I love eating grapes. They fit in my mouth just fine. Anyways, back on topic, right? So she's ugly. She's, physically and soul wise, and I'm just, and then I just shout out a line like, "So you want to feel loved?" And she's just like, "No, no, no," and she's just like, keep on going on. She's gonna keep on going on. She's like telling me like what behavior should be common sense, and I just don't fucking care whatsoever. And I literally have to explain to her like, the way I show my respect, my kindness, is to do my job properly and to get them to and from out of the store so I don't burden any of their time. And she's like, "No, you better give me emotional validation, blah, 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 blah." Like, apparently, like, as soon as I stepped up front to the cameras, sat my hands on the desk, and looked her straight in the eye, the manager there was just like, "Oh, shit. Something's about to happen." So, I think I might have fucking aura farmed there a little bit. Whereas the kids fucking say. I don't know what, like, I honestly don't know. I feel like the older way to say it would be like, I look like a proper man for once in my life. Or, my manliness or whatever. By, like, just standing up for myself and, like, literally just doing that. Like, I just, like, something clicked and I just had to, like, defend myself. I literally explained to her, like, this is how I show my kindness. And she's like, "No, no, I do not respect, I want this. I want this from you. I want this from you." And then, like, another customer walked up, and I noticed it. And, like, I'm just, like, gesturing with my, I'm just like, oh, to my manager as well. I'm just like, "Hey, can you, like, go to the register and, like, help him? I'll handle this by myself. You just help the other customers. I'll handle this myself." And then I turn back to her, and, like, she just freaking stomps on the floor, and then, like, that's it. I'm getting the fuck out of here, and I'm gonna make a phone call to your manager. And then walks out, and then calls the store phone. Or we tell her, like, and then, to the manager, and we're just like, yeah. Like, not even seconds after. Duty-wise, I had to be reported, of course, and I have not yet been talked to by the store manager. I have not received any sort of punishments or any talking to yet. But I do imagine that tomorrow is gonna be a fun time. I'm not sure what the reaction is going to be from this. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have to defend myself, if defending myself is even worth it, and everything of the sort, right? But literally, she left the store, immediately called the store phone, and I could have picked up too. I really could have, but I was more busy focusing on the customers, so it's just like, I feel like I should have picked up the phone. I really should have. But yeah, today was interesting. And like after she left, the other customers were like, "What the fuck was wrong with that bitch?" And like, like they were like just cussing her out as soon as she left. I like they didn't support me during my time of need. You know, I could have used a little bit of insults. Apparently, one man like uttered under his breath like a little insult to the lady. I didn't hear it. I didn't really care. This was literally just gonna be between me and her, as far as I was concerned. Like, I was just gonna figure. I kind of figured like I can deal with this by myself. I'm gonna deal with this by myself. Not that I could have. Not that I was going to win. Not that I even wanted to. It was just like, all right. Guess I'll deal with you. I'm going to deal with you. And that was probably like the biggest fucking aura farm in the entire goddamn world I pulled off. In my life so far, anyway. Not the biggest, craziest thing on the planet, but... the news already has spread. I'm probably gonna have to give my side of the story, get a little talking to about like better customer service, like me actually smiling and making the customers feel friendly, or you know, like feel like they're being greeted in and blah blah blah, like that type of stuff. I'll voice a little bit of like, you know, like why I am the way that I am, you know, and I will, you know, I will have to probably defend myself. I will probably have to deal with like a bad review or whatever. But I mean, it's not the worst thing in the fucking world. Like, I honestly don't care if I get fired at all. Like, here's the thing, all my best moments in my life has just been me sitting around just working on myself. Like, I stopped exercising after I got into work. And for the most part, most of my exercise has literally just been me commuting to and from work. My calves are also sort of stuff. I need to drink like more protein shakes. I still have like some protein powder and milk left. I need to drink more of the milk that I have left instead of just letting it like spoil as time goes on. But so that happened, and the story already is going crazy. I'm like thanking the other people for like, you know, being there for me. You know, like they weren't there for me during the fight, but you know, they're just kind of like validated me afterwards. Just like, yeah, she was awful. She was a bitch. You didn't deserve that. And I'm, you know, they said stuff. You know, everyone was just like, I'm sorry that you had to go through that. I'm just like, nah, don't worry, it's not your fault. And for some reason, like that, I don't know. After like standing up against her, that made me. I don't know. Like during the entire moment, I just felt. I don't know why I felt like I was in so much power. Like usually, I'm just like, you know, whenever people get mad at me, I'm just like, you know, I care about their feelings. I don't know who you are, but I care about like not doing stuff to you. I don't want to do anything bad. I don't mean anything bad. And the fact that I've made you feel bad makes me feel bad. Even if I'm not going to change, even if I'm going to stay who I am, it does genuinely make me feel bad that I just hurt random people who I don't know about. Like, that's my that's my usual reaction. But, like, she kind of popped up, immediately decided, like, to be all out. And, like, maybe a year ago, I probably would have, like, fucking cried or something. But it's like, I don't care. And I stood up for myself, and I don't know, like, I just felt like something rushing through me. It wasn't adrenaline, it was just like me, just like a wave of sanity wash over me. It's like, as soon as I decided, nah, I'm not gonna let this just slide. I'm not gonna let her just keep doing what she's doing. I'm not gonna let her just do whatever she wants and just take it and just, like, be, like, a punching bag. Even if if the punches are literally just words, and even if they don't really affect me, for some reason, letting her get away with it, just shouting at it, and then ending off with, like, oh, I hope you understand now, hope you feel better, and then walk off. Like, for some reason, I couldn't really let it end that way. And so, and I had to. I don't know, like, something in me made me have to. And that's what happened today. That was a fun day. Very, very fun. It kind of unnerved me a little bit. It kind of made me think to myself, I don't know, like, I wasn't worried about my job at all. Like, there was that concern in my mind, but it was just like, it was just like, something in my head was just like, I can deal with it when it happens. I'm not going to think about it. I don't need to think about it, because when it does happen, then I'll worry about it. Like, I genuinely felt like a man as soon as I stepped up in front of the register. Instead of, like, being behind, a bunch of, like, behind the counter, just, like, doing whatever I need to, or walking away, I decided to just literally walk front and face her. And I didn't even look her in the eye. I didn't even care about her. Like, I looked at her face, I looked at her, blah, 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 all her emotions and stuff. She's emotionally volatile. I'm just standing still. I'm letting her do whatever. She's in front of the cameras. And I decided to place myself in front of it too. I have nothing to be afraid of. I don't care if I get judged for being who I am. I do not care about how I responded. And I was comforted that, like, I responded properly. I responded respectfully. I didn't, like, scream at her. I didn't tell her, like, she's stupid. The reason why she left was because I just turned my head, took a look at the manager who was working there, who, was new as well. I kind of have a little bit of seniority, surprisingly enough, even though I haven't even been there that long. I'm just like, yeah, go over to the other register and, like, help the customers. I'll deal with this. Don't worry. And that was it. She had no power. All she was doing was screaming. And no one will remember her. No one ever, like, she'll just be a bad but immediately faded experience. Immediately gone. It was there, but now it's all gone. As quickly as that. And I don't even remember her face. I really don't. I think I'm pretty sure she was blonde. She did have a little bit of wrinkles, and she just looked like any other customer who was generally frustrating and fit into, like, my whatever. Probably had, like, a little bit of a hook nose, but I don't know. I don't pay much attention to the details. I just kind of read the details and just like, yeah, figures. She looks ugly enough to be annoying. And yeah. That was kind of the story. That's all the story ended. Like, afterwards, like, then the next manager took over, and, like, the manager who was with me gave her the rundown of the situation, and then she's just, like, giving me the details, the little rundowns, and she's like asking, like, okay, what happened there? Because I remember a customer who did, like, the same thing. I don't know if it looks the same. I don't know. What did she look like? I remember a customer. Is it the same customer? I'm just like, oh, I don't remember the details. I'm just thinking, like, maybe I could tell her to, like, look at the cameras and stuff. I want to. Maybe it's worth remembering her face or something like that. I don't know. And like, I'm just giving her a whole rundown as well, and it's just hilarious. And then the other guy who came over to take over my shift, I also gave him, like, a little bit of a intro. I didn't have, like, the time, since I basically left as soon as he came over. I just, like, you know, I just gave him the rundown. Like, a customer decided to scream at me in the middle of the store because I didn't smile. Like, that was basically the entire gist of it, effectively. And, I don't know. I don't feel like I've really grown much, but it just kind of, I don't know, that moment kind of just made me realize, like, a lot of the things I worry about, I don't know, like, I also just watched a video recently about, like, how being smart isn't always the best thing. And how, like, smart people like to, like, overthink all these things. And all that kind of stuff. And every single time, like, when I think about it, every single time, my mind's plagued with worries. I think about all the possibilities, and I think it's stupid to not worry about them, because not thinking is stupid. Because that's how a lot of people fall into their mistakes, right? And the thing is that the way I solved it was just being a man and saying, I gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta stand up for what's right. And if something comes from it, I will handle it. I will deal with it when it comes. I do not know what it is. I'm not even gonna think about what it is. But I will deal with it when it comes, if it comes at all, and whatever it may be. I trust that I'm able to handle it. And even if I can't, I'll survive to live another day anyway. And I don't know. I feel like the greatest lesson that I need to, like, really get stuck into my mind is to not necessarily not worry, but to know how much thinking I need to do before it's excessive. I'm perfectionistic. I worry a lot. I think about so many different things. Almost none of it, like, well, actually, almost every single time it tends to come true. But like there's like so many moments as well where, like, even though, like, there's like 50% I overthink and I'm right, and then the 50% is like I over worry, and the entire situation is not what I think it is. Like, it's not in the sense that, like, I worry about stupid things or pointless things. I worry about the things that need to be worried about, and I'm generally right about my predictions because of that. But sometimes there is no, there shouldn't, there don't, there doesn't require any more thought to it. There doesn't need to be, like, any sort of, like, I need to worry about all this. No, I only need to worry about a few things that are more practical. The rest of the stuff can get blown away all quickly. And I think I need to know, like, what to worry about when something pops up. How much worrying I need to actually do before it becomes excessive and I'm just simply wasting my time on very, very pointless possibilities. That, in the end, that I could handle anyway, if I honestly just trust myself. And yeah. And I don't know. I think that was it. That's really all there is about it. Like, I don't really have much else to say other than, like, the entire experience was I don't know, like, it was unpleasant, but I learned something. I grew out of it. She was literally a freaking tool for me to grow. And I don't know what she left with, but, well, I don't know. I guess I shouldn't be jumping the gun saying I've grown as a person. I don't want to say that. I feel like it counts towards growth. I feel like like, people would consider that growth, but I don't know if I have grown or not. I just know that I just feel very, very confident in myself. I just feel better that I was able to stand up for myself. And I didn't blow up. I was just like, okay, let's do this. And I did it. I felt like an actual fucking man. I saw a problem and I dealt with it. One of the very, very biggest problems in my entire life. Dealing with people. And I solved it. The worst thing I dreaded was being shouted out by a bunch of Karens. But, like, the thing I was more scared about was, like, people fucking agreeing with her. And, like, being told, like, I was one of the, like, the nicest people here. Even though I didn't feel like I was. Made me feel good. And I don't know, I guess that's just life-changing as fuck. Not really life-changing, but just really feels nice. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This wasn't exactly the yap that you guys probably were expecting from me. Me just screaming, swearing in a huge fit of rage or something like that, but it's been a while since I've uploaded one of these yap videos. I was originally going to make an angry yap video on my birthday, but it kind of got interrupted and I didn't feel like editing it, so this is what you guys get. A fun little, neat Karen stuff video. Yeah. Well, I hope you guys have a nice day. Hope to see you all in my next video, and maybe you'll see something more impressive from me. That doesn't involve just retail work. I would actually like to make progress on stuff such as my visual novel and whatnot. And I ended up having to like start rewriting it, but like I don't know. This I feel like this kind of proved to me that I need to stop worrying. I just need to start doing. And even if I fail doing, it's significantly better because, like, I don't know. There's a time to act, there's a time to think, and finding the balance for both is how I need to grow as a person properly. Feelings-wise as well, like, I feel like that's also, like, a lot of my anger and frustration comes from just being unable to handle the world, right? Or being unable to handle all the crazy stuff that happens. But, like, I don't know. I guess now I realize why, you know, the wizard game people who, like, make threats over a game about wizards and funny stuff, are so always bitter and violent. They never feel like they're in control. They've been literally conditioned to do so. Like, none of them ever think to themselves, like, oh, hey, like, if the entire government is after me, like, there's state laws and blah, blah, blah that's going to be after me. That literally makes it hard for me to, like, even live. None of them ever think to themselves, like, I can deal with whatever they throw at me. And even if I can't, I sure as fuck am gonna fight. None of them think that. They need to call for help. And that was what I was like too, and that's why I got along with them too. And ever since, like, they kept kicking me out and I kept leaving them, it just, like, and finding proper people who, like, know how to be men, who know how to be proper, civil, and yet had the sturdy force to, like, stand up. That, I don't know, but I ended up doing a thing again. Alright, see you guys next time. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, do all that jazz. Have a nice day. Or don't. Don't leave a like or comment, I mean. Then again, it's not like I have to force you to have a nice day either, but I hope you do, or something like that. Or, I don't know. I imagine most people would want that. But, you know. I imagine she fucking Kara wasn't looking for a nice day, huh? Anyways, see you guys next time.